Welcome to the Brain Alpha. All right, today we are digging into the science of how to build what some people are calling a hard work brain. Okay, let's dive right in with a question for you. Are you really living at 100% of your potential? What if I told you that right now you're probably only using about 40% of what you're truly capable of? I know, that sounds a little crazy, but just stick with me here. You know, most of us have that feeling, that nagging sense that we could be doing more, giving more. Well, there's this really powerful idea out there that actually puts a number on it. The idea is that most people, on average, tap out at just 40% of what they could really do. So, this whole explainer, it's all about unlocking that other 60%. We're going to break down the science behind it, and we're going to do that by looking at two amazing sources: the insane experiences of endurance athlete David Goggins and the incredible research from Stanford neuroscientist Andrew Huberman. We're going to show you how to build that hard work brain. Okay, so to really get what it means to smash through that 40% barrier, we first have to get inside the head of a guy who has literally mastered suffering. Let's talk about David Goggins. I mean, this guy, he's a former Navy SEAL, and his list of accomplishments is it's almost unbelievable. We're talking multiple ultramarathons, that's over 160 kilometers. He's survived races so tough that only 10% of the people who start actually finish. Oh, and he set a world record for doing 4,030 pull-ups in 17 hours. Yeah, you heard that right. That is the very definition of extreme. But here's the kicker. He wasn't born this way. Not even close. His strength was forged through some of the most extreme adversity you can imagine. He started from a place of total hopelessness. We're talking a childhood filled with abuse, constant bullying, and at one point he weighed over 130 kilos with absolutely no hope for his future. And all of that, it reveals his core philosophy, which is this: the real battle is internal. Goggins is adamant that the true enemy isn't what's happening around you or what other people are doing. It's the weakness and the excuses that live inside your own mind. And he says this battle plays out between two voices that we all have inside our heads. You've got the voice of comfort, right? That's the one whispering, "Hey, you're tired. Let's just quit. This is way too hard." But then there's the voice of growth. That's the one that roars, "Don't you dare quit. You are so much better than this. Keep going." The problem is, most of us listen to that first voice. Goggins, he learned how to cultivate the second. So you gotta ask, right? Is this just some 1 in a billion mindset, or is there actually some science, some biology behind this kind of mental toughness? Well, it turns out it's not magic. It's literally about building a muscle inside your brain. So let's get into the science of willpower. It's so easy to look at someone like Goggins and just think, well, he's just different. He's a different breed, you know? He's just wired for this level of grit. But is that really true? And the answer from neuroscience is a huge, resounding no. And this is the core idea right here. Your willpower is not some fixed thing you're born with. Think of it like a muscle. And what do we know about muscles? You can train them, you can make them stronger. So this is where neuroscientist Andrew Huberman comes in. He actually points to the exact spot in the brain where this power comes from. It's called the Anterior Mid-Cingulate Cortex. Yeah, it's a mouthful, so let's just call it the AMCC. The best way to think about it? It's like your brain's own personal drill sergeant. It's the part that screams at you to keep going when every other part of you wants to quit. And the research on this is just fascinating. The size and activity of your amygdala, totally not fixed when you're born. Get this, it physically grows when you do things you don't want to do. And on the flip side, it actually shrinks when you're always choosing the easy path. They found it's bigger in high-performing athletes and, well, smaller in people who are obese. But here's the absolute best part. Anyone can intentionally make it stronger. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that all of us, you, me, everyone, can build a stronger, more resilient brain. And the cool thing is, when you put Huberman's science and Goggins' experience together, you get this really practical 3-step toolkit to make it happen. It all boils down to these 3 actions. These are the keys to beefing up your AMC. Let's break them down. All right, step 1, you have to intentionally seek out discomfort. I'm not talking about anything crazy. It's about deliberately doing stuff you'd rather avoid. Think about it.
That cold shower, pushing out one more rep at the gym, or tackling that annoying task first thing in the morning. Every single time you do that, you are literally doing a bicep curl for your brain's willpower muscle.
Step 2 is all about a mental trick that actually changes your brain chemistry. You have to link that feeling of pain or struggle to a reward. You got to teach your brain to love the effort. So in the middle of the struggle, you tell yourself, this is the feeling of growth. This is me getting better. It sounds simple, but that little reframe can actually make your brain release dopamine, the feel-good chemical, in response to the effort itself, not just when you finally cross the finish line. And finally, step 3. This one completely flips the common idea of motivation on its head. See, we all think we need to feel motivated before we can act, but the science shows it's the other way around. Action creates motivation. Goggins has this super simple rule. Just run for 1 minute. Just start. That tiny first step is the trigger that tells your brain to release the chemicals that actually build momentum. So when you start putting all these steps together, it builds into this really powerful choice that you make every single day. And we're not just talking about getting better at one little thing here. This is about unlocking your entire potential. You see, Goggins' whole point is that we are constantly putting these fake limits on what we can do. We tell ourselves these stories, don't we? Oh, I can't do that, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not strong enough. We literally build the ceiling that holds us down. And he believes that life is constantly giving us a choice between two paths. There's the easy path, and look, it can be a good life, a comfortable life, but it's a life where you'll never, ever find out what you're truly made of. Then there's the hard path. Yeah, it's full of struggle, but it's the only way, the only path to finding the absolute best version of yourself. And that brings us to the final and honestly the most important question of all. Every single day, you wake up and you're standing at that fork in the road. So knowing what you know now, that the harder path is what leads to your best self, which one are you going to choose? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and help us build the hype. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.